You have to make sure that you're really with somebody who adds to you, right? That's so important. Now, I could talk to the guys all day, right? Because I can be biased. I can speak to the fellas. I've already spoken to the fellas many times. Get you a woman and da-da-da. Okay. I got to speak to the women now. Y'all got to stop letting these guys take from you. Okay? Because you see some of these women and their entire essence, everything will be drained out by some toxic dick. And I don't mean like, oh, he toxic, but he give me good pipe. No, bitch. I'm talking about toxic dick in the sense of he drains your soul and he infects you with whatever demonic, low vibrational stuff he got going on with himself, right? Y'all got to stop letting just any guy just be inside of you. You know, oh, he cute, or he this, or he that, or he this. Y'all got to get off that shit. Because y'all sell yourselves short a lot of times, and you end up completely ruining yourselves from the inside out, because people like to downplay, especially in this Western society, how powerful men are. We always talk about the power of pussy, the power of women, the power of that. We get all of that. Nobody's knocking your power as a woman. Nobody's taking it away from you. Nobody's trying to pretend like y'all aren't, you know, majestic and beautiful and can, you know, send countries to war and you can, you know, change the way. We get all of that, okay? But stop downplaying men, because the right man will take a woman to an entirely different level. She can already be winning without him. I'm not saying she's nothing without him, but she can already be in her bag, right? You give the right guy, he will raise her, he will build her up, he will sow into her, he will impregnate her with glory, he will give her even greater purpose than she had on her own. Don't hit me with the feminist bullshit. I'm not saying you don't have a purpose without a man, but a man will exalt you, and he will take wherever you are, he will impregnate you, and he, you know, and he will give you what you need to give birth to something even greater. Okay? Men carry a whole lot of power. We are the initiating force. Okay? We are the initiating force. A man gives a woman sperm. He gives her seed. He gives her the foundation. He gives her the DNA. He gives her the genetic code. He gives that to her and says, hey, I'm giving you this. Go on, work your magic, goddess. Right? Go and do what you do, queen. Right? But he gives it to her. He gives her the foundation. What is this man giving you? What is he impregnating you with? A lot of these women, man, like when I see women these days, my whole mindset is, how can I improve her life? And not on some simp shit. I'm not saying I'm walking up to a random woman, you know, on some, you know, Dr. Umar shit, just kissing a woman ass. Fuck these hoes, right? But what I'm saying, no bash at Umar. I'm just saying guys like that who just kiss ass all day. That's not me, with all due respect. But what I'm saying is, I'm not looking at this beautiful woman in her bag shining, glowing. You ever been to the club or been out and just see a woman just in her glow, just her feminine glory, just moving, and everything about her is just like beckoning you to her, like a straight siren call, right? If you see that, you can be attracted to her, you could be drawn into her, all of that. But ask yourself, are you drawn to her light because you want to add to it, or you want to bask in it, enjoy the power of the divine feminine, the glory of the goddess, whatever the case may be? Or are you just trying to come to her, fuck her real quick, discard her, or like, because I see a lot of guys who have this jealousy of a happy woman. And when they see a happy woman, a woman who's really shining, they want to extinguish the shit. Right? They want to extinguish it. Like subconsciously, there's this jealousy and this envy, like, wow, this woman is happy. She's glowing. She's shining. I don't like that because she's too powerful. Again, it's a subconscious jealousy where a woman who's really happy is powerful. I would go so far as to say probably the most powerful being on the planet when you really get a woman happy. I know we talk about hell hath no fury, a woman scorned, an angry woman. Yeah, but an angry woman will destroy herself as well as everybody else. I'm talking about a happy woman, a woman that's joyful and really in her bag. Is something to it, and it's infectious. and it will literally give birth. See what I'm saying? When you impregnate a woman with something, she will give birth to something even greater than what you gave her in the first place. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you so into her and you feed her and you speak to her and you enjoy her and you love her and you see her, all of her, and your greatest desire is to see her shine more. When you start approaching women like that, recognizing the divine in them and wanting to build upon that and help and assist, when you start doing that as a man, you have elevated to another level in the divine masculine. Now, the low levels will hear this and go, oh, you simping, oh, you simping, oh, you on that beta shit. You know, they always got to label some shit. Everything's a beta, a alpha, a gamma, a theta, a zeta. Shut the fuck up. Everything is a label. We ain't talking about labels, nigga. We talking about the reality of the situation, and you have to be at a certain level as a man to really grasp what I'm saying and see it's not simping. I told y'all I'm closer to a pimp than a simp. I told y'all that years ago. I'm not saying I'm out here, abusing women, but I'm saying I'm closer to a pimp than a simp. What I mean by that is, we not out here kissing ass and, kneeling before the throne and all this bullshit. But we also do recognize the divine feminine as well. And the truth of the matter is, the more you can recognize the divine feminine and really see her for what she is and not always approach her from a take, the more you get to that point, you really start evolving as a man. You're really on another level now. And women can pick up on that. Women can pick up on that. Women can tell when they're around a guy who truly has their best interest at heart. They can tell. They can tell. I've had women literally ask me, I'm not saying this braggadociously, I'm just speaking from my experiences. I've had women literally ask me, who are you? Like, literally, who are you? Because you don't act like you don't fit this mold. Who are you? Because you have this personality where I can tell you aren't going for the bullshit, but at the same time, you know how to treat me. You're not abusive. You're not manipulative. You're not gaslighting me. You don't have to always be right. And even if you are right, you do it in love. You're not like, I'm right, bitch. You're not being right from an egotistical, let me shut this whole out. Like, you genuinely want to see me grow at my own pace. And you're just there with me, encouraging me because you like to encourage me. And I told this woman one time, somebody I've known for so long, dating back to elementary. We've been friends for 20, 25 years. And I told her, what you need to really get out of your head, and just women in general, especially black women, because I got a real soft spot for black women. I just love black women. I just think they are the most underappreciated women on the planet by far. And the most beautiful. I'm not trying to knock other women. Y'all all beautiful in your own ways, but man, black women. Woo! Anyway, and I said, y'all have to get out of the mindset that you have to do something to become worthy of love. You have to do something to become worthy, right? Y'all have to get out of that. It's this mindset. If I just get this degree, I'll be worthy of love. Subconsciously. That's why they chase degree. Everything is a degree. I'm the certified such and such. I'm a certified love. It's like a bunch of shit. If I just collect a bunch of certificates and hang them on my wall, now I'm worthy. Now I'm not that little ghetto bald head black bitch. Subconsciously. Because they've been told that they ain't shit. So if I just get this white man, now I'll be worthy. If I get this NBA player, now I'll be worthy. If I get this someone, it's always a next condition to be met. They need to understand, and this is why I told her, you need to understand you love you from inside out. You do that first. You are worthy because you are worthy, period. Period. No conditions to be met. No hoops to jump through. And whatever guy you're with, he has to have that type of love for you, where he sees you, all of you, and says, I see you, I love you, I support you, I rock with you. And he gets joy from seeing you be the best you can be. You don't have to do shit else for him. I'm not saying anything's free and he's supposed to sit around and just grovel at your feet while you treat him like shit. No. But what I'm saying is, if he comes to you and he says, I'm rocking with you because I'm rocking with you, period. Every woman at some point in time in her life, and I've said this and I preach this from the mountaintops with no apology. Fellas, y'all, if you hear what I'm about to say and you take it the wrong way, that shows that you're not as evolved as you think you are. Every woman needs to, at least once in her lifetime, preferably in her younger years where she can actually allow it to shape her, she needs to experience unconditional love from a guy other than her father or a father figure in her life, right? So what I mean is, your fathers, your uncles, that's great. You need to have a guy that you have met, romantically or otherwise, who genuinely cares for you and loves you like a father or like an uncle. You know, that unconditional love, that I'm going to care for you because, period. Every woman needs to experience that at least once. Again, preferably in her younger years. That way it can shape her as a person. Because if you experience it when you're 60 years old, you toward the end of your life at that point. I'm not saying don't experience it, but you're toward the end of your life at that point. So you haven't, you can't really incorporate that into your DNA, as it were, and like go forth with that knowledge. But when you encounter that when you're 20, 30, 35, you now can go forward in life knowing what it feels like to be loved without condition from a guy that you met. And it has to be a guy that you met. Yes, the fathers and the uncles and the father figures in your life you grew up with, yes, they're great. That's amazing. I'm not saying that they don't know. They matter more than anything. But what I'm saying is, it makes an extra statement when you can meet a guy and this guy cares about you, period. End of story. He doesn't come to you with a laundry list and say, you got to do this. You got to do that. Can you do this? Can you do this? What do you bring to the table? What about this? And it goes down a long laundry list, freaking bullet points of what you have to accomplish before you're worthy of his love. Do you see what I'm saying? Every woman has to experience that at least once in a lifetime. At least once. Because what it does is it shows you how good us men can be. It shows you how good men can actually be. I've said before, the greatest dichotomy of humanity is that we have God and the devil within. What I mean by that is, we can be the highest of the highest of the highest on this planet if we choose to be, humanity as a whole. Or we can be the lowest of the lowest of the lowest. We can do wars, we can do rape, murder, incest, we can do abuse, all of these terrible things that a dog or a cat or whatever will never do. But human beings can. The lowest of the low can be done by none other than human beings. You can literally be the devil on the planet as a human being. You have the makeup to be awful, but you also have the makeup to be awesome. You can be both. That's the divinity of human beings, that we can be either. That's the point. Do you see what I'm saying? So when men choose to be the highest version of ourselves that we are actually capable of being, stop being locked in the primal. Yes, the primal is great. Yes, it serves a purpose. But we are more than just, I gotta fuck this bitch, I gotta fuck this bitch. We are more than just that. And y'all gotta stop living down. Y'all gotta stop what they say, you're performing to your competition, like, watch sports or whatever. Oh, this really great team is playing against not a great team, so they play down, end up losing the game because they're not trying, because they're going against some bums, right? Or who they perceive to be bums. But when you have men who actually say, no, I am more than just a dick. I'm more than just a couple of emotions. I have more emotions than just horny, I want to fuck something, hungry, I want to eat some food, and I'm mad. There's more. You got more than 3 fucking emotions. And when men start tapping into that and realizing we can be better, we can be better, and don't do it hoping for congratulations and I need her to tell me that. Just do it because it's fucking right. Be a higher vibing man. Tap into that energy, man. Tap into the higher aspects of masculinity. We got enough of the lower. We got enough of the, bitch please, bitch ain't shit, bitch ain't this, bitch bend over, bitch get this dick, I just want to fuck this bitch, I got money and these bitches on my dick. We get it, bro. We got to go beyond that shit. And sitting around all day talking about how much we dislike women, that's not leadership, man. That's not leadership. Leadership is acknowledging what it is, speaking with your brothers, yes, about, hey, man, these women, you can vent, you can get it out your system because it's real out here. So get it out your system, vent, speak on it. But then go out here and do some shit. Go accomplish some shit. Go be something. I don't want to hear you complain on another podcast going back and forth with a woman. You just like her, nigga. You just like her. Women are gonna sit around and bicker and squabble and females, man. Women are gonna do what women are gonna do. What are you doing as a man? I don't want to hear you complain all day about women, man. Because I've said this before. When you get yourself right, I'm telling you, you're not gonna have them problems, bro. All of you guys sitting around talking about, I'm encountering these women, bro. I'm telling you, when you raise yourself up as a man, and then when you get to the point where building a lady up is a pleasure, when you get, I know this is going over a lot of people's heads, but it's true. That's a higher degree of masculinity. When you start to derive joy from seeing her shine more because you're in her life, and not on a selfish level, but when you know that the fact that you are, as a man, you are able to build up and help that woman be better. She's in a better mood. She's going through her everyday life, and people are saying something's different about when you know that you are contributing to the improvement of this woman's life. And it's not like you're love bombing her to the point of, I'm going to give you all these things to get you hooked on it, right? And then if you don't act right, I'm going to snatch it back. No. What happens when you quote, see, people talk about love bombing as if love bombing in and of itself is bad. No. Love bombing is bad when you use it as a manipulation tactic to build a person up. So now you're responsible for their elevation. And then as soon as they don't do what you want them to do, or they don't listen, or they don't obey, or they don't agree with you, you snatch your love back. So now their house of cards that you built can come tumbling down, and you can basically control the person by saying, I made you this, I can break you. That's not the good love bombing. That's that manipulative shit. But when you actually say, hey, I'm going to praise and build you up and exalt you and show you how much of a goddess you are. So now you can start to tap into the higher frequency of yourself because I'm helping you do it. That's when you really start to go somewhere in your divine masculinity. Instead of sitting around all day telling women, be the change that you want to see. And then when you become that man that is on his purpose, and you in your bag, and you in your glow, and you shining, and you stunting, and you raw, and you fucking gangster, and you winning, and you on point. When you get to that point, your problems with women will melt away like nothing. The shit won't even exist. Period. And that's facts. I don't want to hear your excuses. It's facts. If you spend less time sitting around bickering all goddamn day, you'd have more time to work on you. So all you do is, I don't give a fuck about these women, I don't give a fuck about these women. Y'all more controlled by pussy than the dudes that's out here building women up. Because the dudes out here building women up, we too busy living our lives just being great and helping her be great. We all just being great together, but y'all sitting in the corner mad. We don't deal with these women. We swearing off women, and that means you preoccupied with women. The fact that you swore them off means you preoccupied with them. Because you spend every goddamn day complaining about how you don't want them. So obviously you want them, but you mad because you don't know how to maintain them or guard them. And you got to grow up. You get to a point where all of that overly excessive bravado, I'm that nigga, that's supposed to become internalized. You supposed to know you that nigga. And you supposed to be that nigga to the point where you out here in the world, she looking at you, that's that nigga. She can feel that you that nigga. You ain't gotta, I'm a prize. Let me show you. Let me tell you. Watch me. Tell me I'm great. Nigga, you supposed to know you great. You supposed to know you great. And she by default is gonna, he's something about him. It's something about that one there. But you spend so much time telling her how great you are. Nigga, be great. Stop telling her. If you just be great, she will tell you you're great. She will show you you're great. She will give you herself. She will give you her mind. She will give you her heart. She will give you all of this shit that you claim you don't give a fuck about. Work on you. It always boils down to looking in the mirror. It's always looking in the mirror, male or female, right? You want to talk about how men are leaders and men are this and men are the head, and then fucking be that. You not being the head if you sitting around all day whining and crying about what women don't do, and these women, these hoes, these bitches, these hoes, all damn day. That's not leadership shit. Leadership shit is, you know what? I see what she doing that's wrong. Because Lord knows these women be doing some bogus shit. We know. Especially in Western society, we ain't stupid. And we not going to sit there and pretend. If you in Western society, you done seen the lowest of the lowest of the lowest of the lowest of the lowest when it comes to these women. You know, goddammit, you know. But at the same time, you can be angry about it, you can be pissed about it. But leading by example is how you get them out of that rut. No, you can't pick them up and carry them out of the rut because they got to put in some work. But in so many ways, you can pick them up out of that rut in so many ways. They're going to have to make the final decision, you know. But you can get that donkey pretty fucking close to the water. Okay? They're going to have to drink, but you can get them to the damn water. You could dunk them in the damn water. You could baptize a bitch. Okay? I ain't saying you're going to make her drink the shit, but you could damn, you know, you get her pretty fucking close, man. I'm being a little facetious now, but my point is, when you put in the work, man, the work will reap the benefits. It's universal law. You know? What they say, a bad tree can't come from, you know, from good seed, right? So a bad tree can't give you good fruit, more or less. Something like, I paraphrase it. So if you have an apple seed, you're going to get an apple tree. You have an orange seed, you feel me? You get my point. You can't plant bullshit and expect good shit to spring up and then get mad when you're not manifesting good shit. Because you're not planting the good shit. So into that woman. And stop approaching it from the angle of, if I build her up, she gonna think I'm a simp. Get off this simp shit. Stop being so worried about being a simp. You know if you a bitch or not. And if you're not a bitch and you're not a pussy and you're not weak and you're not a sissy, you know, cuckold sitting in the corner while she fucking Tyrone. If you're not that dude, then just don't be that dude. Stop trying so hard to prove you ain't that dude and just be the guy that you claim to be. Huh? Show and prove, man. That's all you got to do. You know? Because you get to the point where you start building these women up just because, now you talking. And you'll be even more blessed because of that. Because what a lot of y'all miss is, let me open this door real quick. Because what a lot of y'all miss is, believe it or not, when you do a lot of good unto yourself first. So you build yourself up. You put in the work for yourself first, right? And now once you've built yourself up, now you can get out here and building other people up, activating other people's greatness, leading other people to their own divinity. That becomes joyful for you. When you start becoming an activator, man, you are vibing high. How many of y'all are actually entering into a woman, having sex with a woman? You guys are sharing in each other and you go into it with a mindset of service. How can I make her experience ecstasy? How can I make her come? How can I give her pleasure? How can I make her happy? See, when you make her the center of the universe, when you're with her, having sex, whatever, right? Not even just sexually. I mean, in general. You supposed to be so high up to where you can give and it takes nothing from you. If you go to a billionaire and a billionaire goes up to me and gives me $100 million, but they worth, you know, $20 billion. That $100 million to them is like $1,000. Oh, that shit. I get that back. It ain't nothing, right? But to me, it's life changing. You just changed my life. You just made me another tax bracket and then some. I'm richer than some of the NBA players now. I'm that new now. You feel me? Right? but they got so much to give, right? If you as an everyday person, let's say this everyday person over here, let's say they, working at Dollar General, they don't make a whole lot of money, right? But, they surviving barely. To them, $100 is, oh shit, I'm not eating for a week, right? But to somebody else, they're like, fuck, $1 million, I'm gonna give you 100 real quick. This ain't a millionaire, I'm gonna give you $100, whatever. You feel me? You got to get to the point where in the spirit, you are that billionaire. So you can sow into this woman, but sowing into her, you supposed to have so much to give to where you can build her up and it takes nothing from you. You're not depleted at all. The reason why you feel depleted for building her up is because you don't have that much inside of yourself to give to begin with. That's the problem. Work on you. Make yourself that God. Make yourself that God body. Build yourself up to that divine. And when you do that, building her up is going to be a shit. You're not even going to have to intentionally try to do it. It's going to be something that you do. It's part of life, So when you're with that woman and you see this beautiful woman, ask yourself, man, you know what? I want to be with her. I want to do this. I want to bend her over. Okay, that's all well and good. Don't water that part of you down. That Shango aspect. That aspect that want to pull her hair and blow her back out. Don't break that down. Don't water that down. Don't pretend that's not there. And don't water that down like this pussy ass society try to push you to do with some toxic masculinity. No. You need some of that toxic masculinity because that's your alpha, that's your protector, that's your provider, that's your warrior energy. You don't need to be out here trying to be a woman. You need to be a man. You need to be a little rugged. Need to be a little rough. Okay? You need to be a little unrefined. Okay? You need to be a fucking man. Don't completely get rid of that, Tarzanian sort of energy that, hey, I'm just out here. No, you need some of that. You can refine, the gangster. You can refine the wild animal to a degree, but a lion gotta still be a lion. A gorilla gotta still be a gorilla. Do you see what I'm saying? The tigers and the bears gotta still be the tigers and the bears. They might be in the zoo. They might be a little, a little refined. They might be a little, demure, what's the word they use? Demure, some bullshit. I never used the word before. What's the fuck is that word? Demure, They might be, a little more, higher on the totem pole than the ones running around the jungle, but they still a fucking lion. Don't fuck with them. You gotta still be the lion is what I'm saying. Moving on. When you get so high to the point where you building a woman up, it's just like, it's what you do. Now you're on that. Now you're on the frequency for real. Right? So with these women, y'all gotta be better with who y'all letting inside of y'all, man. Seriously. I mean that to my core. Because I've seen too many women. Now see, that's what I did is when I, started growing up and realizing stuff, I said, you know what? Damn, you know what? I'm mad at myself because I was without trying to be. Because I had so much resentment and insecurity when I was much younger, 21, 22, So you got a woman, and you resentful and you bitter and you pissed off and you angry and you got to prove a point. And you insecure about, oh, she gonna think I'm a bitch. I gotta show I'm not no pussy. I gotta treat her this way to show her I can't be played with. And all that's immature energy. All that's immature. And you realize, damn, I did that. I was that toxic. I'm not saying that's all I was now. But you have periods throughout your life where you were the villain. And I'm like, oh my God, I had this woman. And yeah, she did this wrong. Yeah, she did that wrong. Yeah, she did this wrong. Yeah, she did that wrong. I'm not saying she didn't do those things. But I can't change another person. All I can change is me. And I say, you know what? I was this way. I was that way. She was in a good mood. Then she spoke with me. And I was mad about some shit she did the day before. So I say something to piss her off on purpose. So now she can go through her day mad. That's low vibrational. Right? You should never derive pleasure from tearing down really anybody, unless they're your enemy. If they're your enemy trying to hurt you or your loved ones, you fucking kill them. But what I'm saying, with no apology. But what I'm saying is, when you're with somebody, you should never derive pleasure from seeing a person that you're supposed to love down. I'm going to say this to make sure she feel me. I'm going to make this bitch feel me. That was my big thing. I'm going to make this bitch feel me. Because she going to feel me, And it boosts your ego in the moment. But I'm like, I hated myself for a while as I was going through the work. Because I had to go through the work. And when you start going through the work and really acknowledging all of the stuff that you did wrong, and you're like, oh my God, I was the villain, I was the fucking asshole. And you start to really, really process that stuff. Man, it's not easy. And it hurts. Because you have to acknowledge when you were the problem. And it's not saying that she was never the problem. But what it's saying is, I can sit up here all day and complain about her and what she did and how she was wrong. And this bitch this bitch that. That solves nothing. Because the growth comes when you call yourself out on your own shit. I can't change you. I can't make you do what I want you to do. All I can do is work on me from the inside out. So as I work on myself, I got to look at me. And then the better version of people will start showing up in your life because of who you are. You start to become magnetic to that woman I was with back in the day. With all the goofy shit she would do. That still didn't justify me being, reactionary to her. Because that's not masculine. So now I'm being reactionary. Now I'm trying to respond to what you've done. And I'm pulling my love back because you're not acting right. No, I'm going to love you because I love you. And I'm going to love you through the shit. We going to talk about this shit. And if you can't act right and you can't get better, you got to let the hoe fly. But at the least, you're going to do your part, right? I'm going to do me. I'm going to work on me. I'm going to make sure that I'm good, that I'm the best I can be. And then vast majority of the time, a woman is going to align with that. She's going to align with that. A lot of y'all are not aligned like that, man. As men, I'm not blaming it all on us. But what I'm saying is, are you the leader or not, nigga? Are you the leader or not? Because if you really the leader like you say you the leader, do the work. And trust me, the women that you seeking and the wives and that they are women who you will get a different version of them based on who you are. And a lot of these guys, you will actually, if you build yourself up, the same woman a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, who for the street, she will start to mold herself around this nigga. Like, she starts showing traits that you didn't even know she had in her. Oh, she don't know how to listen. She'll start listening because she know that she being led by somebody who got her best interest at heart. And he not leading selfishly. He really cares about her. Her best interest is his goal, right? So yes, he's doing it. He loves himself. And I'm not saying be a complete fucking, dog on a leash for a chick. But what I'm saying is, when you truly, truly have her best interest at heart, she's gonna know it. She's gonna pick up on it. And if she's just so stupid and goofy the way she can't, let her go. She ain't the one. But majority of the time, I'm telling you, you'd be surprised. Even the women that you thought couldn't act right. She for the street. She for the this. She for the that. She's gonna start to work on herself because she's seeing the work being done in you. You got to start being the example. Start showing these women what a man can be. And trust me, you'd be surprised what they can do as well to match you. Trust me. I've seen it happen. I've had women literally tell me, I've never felt this way about anybody ever. What the hell is this? What kind of witchcraft did you put on me? I feel like this is like I put a spell on a chick. Ain't nobody put a spell on nothing, baby. I am the fucking spell. I'm the book of spells, man. I'm the cauldron. I'm the goddamn spoon that stir that motherfucker. Y'all walking on water. I am the water. I'm the fire. I'm the ice. I'm the nigga. What? You know who I am, goddammit. Woo! It's facts though, man. I'm being a little silly, but my point is, at the end of the day, become that example, man, and a woman will align with you. Absolutely. I remember one time I'm at a grocery store, actually very recently. I'm at a grocery store, and a young woman, beautiful, oh my God, gorgeous young woman, young black woman, long hair. She was in there. She was there with her little son, and Aldi. Aldi, they got the prices. Nigga. And I'm in that bitch, got my little steaks and shit, right? Mind you, I'm on a little, the little countertop to the side, bagging my stuff. She walks out of the line, walks over. Now she's still rigging her food out. Walks out of the line, walks over to me at the counter, reaches in my cart, pulls out a pack of steaks. Oh, these look great. These look delicious. What are these? I need some of these. Obviously, I'm not stupid. She was clearly flirting and showing interest, which I appreciate. I'm not taking it. Believe me, it's not lost on me. So we ended up, hitting it off and talking and, going on dates. And we still talking now, actually. But my point is, she picked up on my energy. She could tell. Who is this nigga? She could tell, man. These women are not as stupid as you think. They're not. I'm not saying that there aren't some dumb bitches out here, because Lord knows that would be a fucking lie. But they're not as dumb as you think, man. You give them the good stuff. You impregnate them with the good stuff spiritually, energetically. You be amazed with what they can give birth to. So, to the ladies, be more cognizant and aware of the guys you're letting inside of yourself, because you're letting these guys latch on to your light. And I was one of those guys, not intentionally. And I'm not saying I don't have any light in myself, but there was a point in time where I was one of those guys. It's like everybody's played the villain before. Again, that wasn't my whole thing. Like, I definitely had a lot of good in me, and I was always, the thinker and the smart guy and all that shit. So I'm not saying that I was just a complete piece of crap. I gotta make this run. I'm gonna start my car. You might be a little noisy for a second, just hearing the key turn. Gotta make this run. But no, and I realized, what? I was with this woman, and the love was too transactional. It was way too transactional. I would look at her and I would give her credit and praise, but I did so with extreme conditions. It was always a condition. It was always a string attached to my kindness. It was a string attached to my love. It was a string attached to my patience and encouragement. There were many times when I would actually feel in myself, my discernment, my gift, my connection to divine spirit, source, God, whatever you want to call. I would feel, hey, tell her this. Hey, build her up with this. Encourage her. Do this. Show her this. Reveal this secret to her. And I would literally withhold the word that I would have for her, withhold the encouragement, I would withhold shit, because she don't deserve to have that because she ain't acting right? That's not love. Wait, I'm sorry. That's not love. It's very transactional. And if you love a person like that, you don't really love them at all. And when I looked in the mirror and really took a long, hard look at myself as I grew up, right? I would say late 20s, early 30s. Really, like my early 30s is when it really started to sink in. And I was single during this time. I wasn't with anybody else. I wasn't hurting anybody. I said, I'm with myself, and I'm going to learn me. And that's when I really had my greatest growth, when I was alone. And I said, you know what? If her father, her stepfather, her brothers, whoever, if they were to see the treatment of their little girl, baby girl, sister, whatever, if they saw that treatment, would I treat her that way in front of them? And that is when I woke up. That's when I realized, wow, if you can't do it in front of a young lady's family, the men in her family, if you can't comfortably do it, if you can't comfortably say it, if you can't comfortably speak to her and treat her the way you do in private, if you can't comfortably do that to her in front of the men in her family, then you're doing something wrong and you need to recalibrate. Because if you're really coming to that woman with love, even in correction, if you're coming to her in love, then you can do it in front of the men in her family and know that they're not going to look at you like you're mistreating her. I realized how I spoke to her. I realized all of the things I did. I realized I didn't really know how to love like I thought I did. I said, well, damn, I do this right. Hey, I'm smart. Hey, I have intuition. I'm intuitive. I have discernment. That counts for something. I'm so amazing. I didn't say I'm so amazing, but I did say I'm intelligent and I'm this and I'm educated and I'm smart and I'm this and I'm that. And I thought that somehow undermined or undid or covered the multitude of the sins of everything else I was doing wrong, in the sense of just being an asshole. I just didn't know how to treat a woman, and I grew up. And that's why I feel so strongly about it now, is because what type of man do you really want to be? Do you want to be the guy that leaves a trail of hurt women in your wake? Do you want to be the guy who can look back one day and say, all of these women who are damaged and hurt and sad and heartbroken, who are forever scarred, doesn't matter how they move on, who they get married to, who they fuck, who they suck, whatever. The hurt that you leave with people, it sticks. Do you want to be the guy who just leaves burdens in your wake? Just leave burdens for women. Leave pain. Leave complexes and just distrust for men. And, you know, do you want to be that guy? Do you really want to be just another guy who leaves pain behind him everywhere he goes? And it might sound like I'm being dramatic. I'm not saying I was the worst guy on the planet. I'm just saying I was an asshole. And I had to say to myself, I don't want to be the guy who's in a relationship who's so narcissistic, as if I'm the star of the show and bitch, you're just my side character. Never forget it. Like, that's not how you treat a partner. Yes, you're the man, and I'm not going to front on that. I believe that the man is supposed to be out in front, taking care of business and leading. But at the same time, true leadership is making those who you're leading feel and know that they are important. Know that they are equally important, if not more important. That's a leader, because you don't have the ego to have to constantly be reminded that you're the leader. And how many guys look in the mirror and say, do I want to be that guy? Because if you can honestly say, I don't care about how many bitches I hurt, let's hurt these bitches, let's break these hearts, let me fuck these. So if that's how you move, you have to really ask yourself, who are you, man? And if you're okay being a shitty person, then, you know, that's on you. And you'll deal with that how you deal with that. But I wasn't okay being a shitty person. And I had to learn that just because you're great at A, B, C, and D does not excuse the other letters of the alphabet, nigga. Like, no. Work on yourself. Don't be out here hurting people, because hurt people hurt people. So work on yourself. Because every woman you find, you should leave her in better shape than you found her. Damn. At the very least, be benign. At the very least, don't make her worse. Maybe you do meet a woman and you guys just have a great time and make amazing love, and you know, you write songs about her and she's your muse. I've been there, and it's just awesome, right? Until you both move on, and maybe you're traveling out of town and you have great fun while you're both in the same city, whatever. Everything doesn't have to be marriage or a long-term relationship, but what I'm saying is, can you say that, you know what, that woman that I met here, she has great memories of me. We had a great time. And the time that we were with each other, I know for a fact that I added to her life and gave her memories that she will carry forever. And she will always think fondly of the time we shared. Yes, nigga, that's the life I want to live. That's the man I want to be. Whether I'm teaching you something, whether I'm blowing your back, whether I'm helping you heal, whatever. I want to know that I left a good mark on your life. I left a positive imprint on your life instead of a stain or a blemish. That's what matters to me. And if more guys actually started approaching life that way, with people in general as the leaders, but with women, we're talking about the dating aspect right now, so let's keep it streamlined. You should have women, even if you aren't with them anymore, they should still be able to look at you and go, yeah, and a smirk or a smile should pop up on their face at the thought of you. That's how you know you're doing it right. If every woman you've ever dated, they face get all grimace and they hate you and this, that, and the third, man, who are you, bro? Who are you? So that's where the work begins. That's where the work begins. And that's what tipped me off to who I was back in the day. You know, I had to realize that hurt people hurt people. So heal your fucking self so you don't go around ruining and damaging a bunch of women in the process. Because it's not a good look. and it's not the person that you really should want to be as a man, because is that the type of guy that you would want to replicate and duplicate on this planet? You shouldn't want to. We got enough of that, man. Be a healer, not a herder. It starts with working on you.